Hello, dear banking exam students. In the IBPS exams, regularly they ask questions based on roots of quadratic equation. So, in this video, we are going to discuss some of the questions based on the roots of quadratic equation. The concept is very simple. Let me start with an example, then we will move on to the questions. So, if you take this example, it's a quadratic equation. If you solve this quadratic equation, you will be getting what? Two roots. Okay. So what is the two roots? How do you find it? There are many methods to find the roots. One of the method is splitting the middle term method. The second method is applying the formula method. Maximum you may not apply the formula. Directly you can split the middle term and you can write the answer. So here what? Two numbers if you multiply you should get 25. If you add them you should get minus 10. What are the two numbers here? So it's going to be minus 5 minus 5. If you multiply them you will be getting what? Plus 25. If you add them you will be getting what? Minus 10. Therefore the roots of this equation, if you write as a factor, it is going to be x minus 5 into x minus 5, that is equal to 0. But the values of x are going to be what? X is equal to 5 comma 5. Whatever you get here, just multiply by minus, that is going to be the roots. Okay. The second one, here the coefficient of x square is 1. Suppose if you get the coefficient of x square some other number, how do you factorize it? How do you find the x value? Suppose if you multiply these two numbers, it's going to be what? 35. If you multiply two numbers, you should get 35. If you add them, you should get what? 2. So it's going to be what? 7 5s are 35. And if you put here minus, if you multiply, you'll be getting minus 35. If you add them, you'll be getting what? Plus 2. And since you have here 7 as the coefficient, you have to divide by 7. You have to divide by 7. Okay, so here it's going to be what? 1. Therefore, the roots of these equations are factor is what? X plus 1 into x minus 5 by 7. These are the factors. But x value, if you see, if you x plus 1 is equal to 0, then x is equal to what? Minus 1. Just multiply by minus 1. The roots are going to be minus 1 and 5 by 7 plus 5 by 7. These are what? Roots for this quadratic equation. Okay. This is how we find the roots. Based on this, we'll see some of the questions of PYQ. Look at the question. So you are given two equations, and based on the two equations, they are given four options. You have to answer. You have to choose the correct option. Okay. Okay. So for the first equation, what is the root? So they are comparing the roots only. If you look at the option, they are comparing the roots only. So this kind of question only they regularly ask. Okay. So a square plus 23, a plus 30. So that means if you multiply two numbers, you should get 130. If you add them, you should get what? 23 plus 23. So what are the two numbers? It is nothing but 13, 10. If you multiply, you will get 130. If you add, you will be getting what? 23. So the roots are what here? So in this case, the roots are going to be minus 13, minus 10. When you take the other problem, it is going to be what? 84. And if you multiply, you should get the 84. And if you add, you should get what? 19. So 84, 19. So what are the possibility here? So if you split like 21 into 4, 84, but you will not get what? 19. Then what is that we can do? We can split this as what? 3 into 7. And then what? 12. 12 into 7, it's going to be 84. So 12, 7. So 12 into 7, 84. If you add them, you'll be getting plus 19. If you multiply them, you'll be getting 84. So here, what are the roots? So minus 12, then what? Minus 7. So these are the roots here. So A values are minus 13, minus 10. Your B values are minus 12 and then minus 7. Now, if you look at the first option, A less than B, if you take any A value, is it less than on the B value? That you have to check. Okay. Suppose if I take minus 33 is less than minus 12, but minus 33 is minus 13, sorry, not 33, I said 33, minus 13 is less than 12, and also minus 13 is what? Less than 7. So in the negative, we know if the smaller the number, that is bigger. Higher the number, that is going to become what? Smaller. So this is okay. 13 is less than these two numbers. But when you take minus 10 is not less than 12. It is going to be what? Greater than minus 12. Therefore, this option cannot be the answer. So always it should be true. Any number, if you take here, any number, it should be less than what? All the numbers of the other one. That's what. If there is a change, then you cannot choose that option. So equal to also not going to come. Similarly, A greater than B. All the A, is it greater than B? No. Your minus 13 is what? Less than minus 12, therefore it is not going to be. Similarly, this option is also not going to be. This is not going to work. Okay, then they said what option E, A is equal to B, or relationship cannot be determined. We cannot find the relationship. So for this question, the answer is E only is correct, because A less than B not working out, less than or equal to also not working out. A greater than B is also not working out. Okay. So here the thing is, all values you have to take into consideration. So this is A. If we take any A value, all the B values should, suppose A less than B means in the place A, I can take any value from here. In the place of B, I can take any value from here. If it satisfies this condition, then only that option is correct. If it is true for one number, then it is not the answer. It should be true for all. Okay. That's how we have to answer the question. Okay. We have answered this question. So the answer is E. Similarly, we will take one more question. Okay, same concept. They are given two quadratic equation. We are equating the roots of the, they are giving a relation between roots of the equation. Let's find the first roots. So two numbers, if you multiply, it's going to be minus 22. If you add them, it should be what? 9. So it is going to be what? 11 into 2, 22, but they want what? Minus. So if you put here minus, it's going to be what? Minus 22. If you add them, you'll be getting plus 9. Therefore, the roots are here minus 11 and 2. These are the roots for this equation. Okay. For this equation, so it's going to be what? If you multiply, you should get minus 16. If you add them, you should get what? Minus 15. What are the two numbers? So 16 into 1. So minus 15 you wanted. If you multiply, you will be getting minus 16. If you add them, you will be getting minus 15. Therefore, the roots are going to be 16 and minus 1. Now we have what? Minus 11, 2. Then 16 minus 1. If you take any of this value, if we compare with all the values here, see minus 11 less than 16. Okay. Minus 11 is less than 1. It's okay. But if you take 2, 2 is less than 16, but 2 is not less than 11. Oh, sorry, minus 1. 2 is not less than minus 1. Therefore, this is not okay. So K is this. These are your K values. These are your N values. So K less than N is not working. Same way, K less than or equal to 1, equal to also not working. So these two are not working. Now let us take the K greater than N. K greater than N means, again, minus 11 is not greater than 16. That is not going to work. Okay. If you want to answer this condition means, the condition should be true for all. All the values of K if you take it, all the values of N if you take it, it should be true. K greater than N. If I take any value here, it should be greater than any if I take any value here. It is not for a particular value, it satisfies means we cannot answer. Okay. So therefore, this is also not true. Again, this equal to also not going to work. Therefore, answer is, it is equal to is not there, but the relationship cannot be determined between these K and the N. That's the answer for the question. So this is the answer for the question. Okay. Now similarly, I have one question for you to work out. Kindly go through the question. and the answer there. Okay. So if you want, you can give your answer as a comment. Thank you.